So, good morning, everyone. This is the Good Morning Education Show, and we are live today. I'm sure we're all excited to see a brand new day. And my colleagues and analysts are here, and we are ready for today. Another session, another edition of your favorite education show, the Good Morning Education Show. So, good morning, friends. Good morning, colleagues. Yeah. Titi, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning,
Good
Titi.
morning,
Good morning,
everyone.
Safety Check, and good morning,
Good
Eben.
morning, Mr. Jude.
Good morning.
So,
Morning.
how are we doing today?
Oh, cool.
Safety chick, are you just waking up?
I think so.
I slept around 3 a.m.
That's not the answer to the question. I said, are you just waking up?
Yes.
You need some tech integration in your life.
Yes, so
Yes.
Okay, so we want to welcome our guests online. Please ensure you let us know where you're viewing from. Say hello to us, say something. The excellent teacher, good morning. She's saying good morning, everyone. Great to have you here.
Good
Morning,
morning,
excellent teacher.
good morning, excellent
So
teacher.
it sounds like it was a Barney show or something. The way we said it. Good morning, excellent teacher. Okay. Without wasting much time, let's just head over to the news and then we'll come back to the business of the day. And welcome back. Welcome back, everyone. Yes. Let me just ask you, Titi, is there anything you want to say from our news or from the headlines? Any statement, any comments?
Well, there's a lot happening, during this season. I will encourage everyone to, try and use it as a learning period. Of course, Niger Kids is giving free access for 1 month to its educational games. So that's, yes, simply you could simply send us a mail, and then go subscribe and check it out. Thank you.
So, if I'm correct, you're giving it to schools, or you're giving it to parents, or giving it to both, or just
to both. Anybody that's interested in keeping their children learning using educational games, just holler.
All right. So there you have it, guys. Please head over to Niger Kids for your gift of access, and I'm sure that it's going to be worthwhile. I've seen the back end information and all that, and I trust anything coming from Niger Kids. Niger, imagine I wanted to say Niger Gigs. It's a learning process. Is it? Oh, Rhoda, you have come back with fire. Oh my God, see Rhoda's image. Oh my God, where's my seat? You are still sitting on my seat.
No, I have 20
Jude,
now.
Jude, it's okay. It's okay.
That's it.
Good morning, education. Good morning, all of you.
Good morning, great.
Good morning, welcome.
Okay.
Chick, where's your virtual background?
You said?
Safety Chick, I'm asking for her virtual background.
It's gone with the wind.
Safety avatar. A safety avatar.
It's gone with the wind. Oh my God! So let's do something different today. I think we should first take the greetings. We have so many greetings coming in early enough today.
My what?
Rhoda, could you just take the greetings first, and then we'll move to the topic while we recognize our viewers across the world. So, Rhoda, over to you.
I will begin by saying, from our tribe member, one of our strongest tribes, the excellent teacher says, good morning, everyone. Thank you, excellent teacher. We love you. Thank you. You're all here supporting us, waiting for us, giving us your solid thoughts. If you're also from the UAE, thank you so much. Hi, good morning, she says. All. It's so good to be here. It's so good to have you too, Ifyo. Thank you. Next comment. Nana, oh yes, Nana is a personal friend of mine. Good morning, great educators. I am joining from Ireland. Look at that.
Wow.
We are just rocking it out here. Thank you, Nana. Thank you so much. And then this is from Lance Ixia, Abuja. Nice. Good morning, excellent teachers. Thank you. Good morning. Excellent teacher. Lol, at the way you all said good morning, excellent teacher. You are okay, thank you. Another tribe member who apparently, good luck, I think started with us very consistently this week. He says, good morning, great educators. Good morning, great, good luck. Thank you. Lanicia Abuja in Field Ashiri is watching. Nice, Dini. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, education show. Thank you. Ronke Posh, of course. Good morning, everyone. Elbow cough. Ronke always bringing the thing. Elbow cough. Good morning, everyone. See
Good morning.
Okay, so I think we have all the comments for now, and it's just exciting when you look at the cross section of our viewers. We have people from Dubai, UAE, we have people from Lagos, Abuja, we've had someone from Ireland, we've had someone from India, and it's just encouraging to know that people get up early in the morning, and depending on their time zone, sometimes midday, probably evening, and they just spend time to join us and share their life, their data, their subscription, their time with us, listening to our bell of blessing, listening to our rant, listening to the power prophets, the creative people, the safety people, the geeky, techie Niger Kids guru, the awesome Ronke Posh. It's just encouraging to know that someone is watching, just like they say, Big Brother is watching. That No, I'm not saying that. I'm not branding Big Brother. I'm just saying in the tone of the Big Brother voice. So
Oh,
our topic today, okay, Jude, someone has a request, and it's an international request. I'm
yeah.
hoping we can see Jude's face today. Oh, will that prayer request be answered?
Challenge. Hashtag Jude, show your face.
Yes, sir.
It's okay. It's okay.
Hashtag you show your face, too.
Iben is under Jude's mentorship, so Iben too is taking some time. All right, so guys, let's okay, someone say something here. I may be far geographically, but my heart bleeds for the education sector in Nigeria.
Yeah.
I think this is a perfect way to start today's session. Actually, let's wait. TT, then Safety Chick, and Eben. Don't be surprised. We are going to see Juice's face in the next few seconds. I have a feeling that there's something prophetic about this going back and coming in. Jude, don't disappoint me.
Not light.
Even if it's that, you know that isn't Bitmoji that you have with that skin cut.
That's my avatar. That's my avatar. Okay, tomorrow.
So Rhoda, let's start with you. You know, we're talking about COVID-19, apathy and fatigue, and we want to talk about real issues. We want to talk about real life experiences. You know, sometimes it seems that we've been speaking to things and not speaking to people. You look at it, and behind this is lives that are affected. Behind this, everything. We're individuals. I always love my conversation with Titi behind the scene, and when she talks about certain things, she swings it, and the question comes back to us all. It's still about people. You understand? Whether you're talking about tech, whether you're talking about resumption, you're talking about everything, it still evolves around people. So Rhoda, over to you. Open the floor.
I honestly love the introduction you've just given, and the basic theme there is that it is about people, and what is apathy really? It's just, in simple words, is a lack of interest, lack of enthusiasm, and it happens when a person or a set of people or a group of people feel overwhelmed by something that they seemingly cannot control, and that's what COVID has done right from the beginning of COVID-19. No one knows what to do, and that is something that was really difficult. Link knowledge, link data, link that has happened, even if it's the smallest context. It was first time of this virus. It was called novel COVID-19, isn't it? New. So that has been the problem, and that's been basically the cause of the apathy and the fatigue, and it's happening to everybody in all the sectors connected to education. Parents, and I would say even parents in different ways, parents of all strata. Just categorize everybody, put them wherever you choose to put them in. There's COVID apathy happening because something connects all of us, and that thing is that we don't know how to deal with COVID-19 in relation to how we're living our lives. Many of us have to learn new skills when it's going to end. And we also we're becoming, parents have become the new teachers. Those teachers, all of a sudden, teachers have become the tech literate all of a sudden. Children have become people who cannot touch each other all of a sudden. And for parents of children that have special needs, all of them had to be specialists all of a sudden. So everybody, and then at the same time, the world is saying your hands are, you're going to work from home. Oh, we cannot afford to pay you this. Your salaries are dipping. Oh gosh, it's just wide. Let me just start from there and let the others.
Wow, Titi, get set. You know, Rhoda said something. Said we all have been affected one way or the other. And saying that parents are the new teachers is the truth. Actually, I remember a lot of people came out, and I think one thing I've realized is people now tend to know a little bit of what happens behind the classroom. If for no reason you appreciate the fact that the school system is taking a burden off parents, especially handling your child, and think about it, 2, 3, 4, 5 kids in a class, or 10 in some cases. Titi, over to you.
Yeah, it's interesting that this week I've had a lot of conversations with people. I had conversations with my children. My son said, "Mommy, I'm just tired of this online learning. I wish we could go back to school." He says he doesn't mind wearing his mask. I told him he was kidding me, but that's how tired, that's disinterested in the online. I was speaking to my sister the other day, and she says, "You know what? She was surprised when they informed that her daughter had not been doing all her assignments on the Google Classroom." She said she went and checked the Google Classroom and found out she had over 30 uncompleted assignments. Meanwhile, school has more or less, they've done the exams and school has more or less ended. So her daughter has been, on punishment for the past 2 days, trying to complete all her outstanding work that she had not done throughout the term. Yesterday, I was speaking to a friend of mine, and she told me that honestly, this online learning, she's been so frustrated. She has 3 kids, ranging from the ages of 9 to about 16. Her older daughter, she gave her the assignment of overseeing her other sons online while she was helping her other son. She said, one day she had a meeting in the office because she had been so naughty. She put him to sit beside her while she was actually on her office meeting. She said during her meeting, she just noticed music. She looked at her son. Her son was looking straight at his computer, and she could see that the teacher was teaching. But she knew she heard music. Do you know? She didn't even wonder where's the music coming from. The next thing, her son was using a headpiece. She looked at him and realized that he was playing music, playing something on YouTube, looking straight at the class with his teacher talking, but doing, actually listening to something else on YouTube. She said, the frustration of all of it, and she was, his audacity sitting beside her and still trying all those things. I had another parent tell me all the things she had done to restrict things on her children's devices, but they just seem to be able to find out various ways of cracking it and going behind, to watch things download. It's been frustrating. This is me talking from a parent's perspective. Honestly, my first son, I'm not even so involved in his because he's a more serious and nerdy guy. So I know he's doing his work. But my younger son, I'm always on his case. And sometimes he say, "Oh, mommy, I've done it." Then I say, "Okay, you know what? Today I'm going to sit down and check everything." And I realize, "Oh, you have to." I say, "Oh." So talking from parents, we've been frustrated. We've had to take on more than we've ever taken before. We still have work that we have to do because we're still working. We really want schools to open. We really want life to come on. But safety for our children is fine. But I'll be honest with you, I do know people that have dropped their children back at their school daycare. They told me, "I'm sorry, my business, my hustle, school has put in place some whatever. I just have to go and work, and my work is not inside the house. My work is outside. It's not all these meetings you're doing. It's outside. It's hustling." So they've done that. I shared an article with Rotimi and Rhoda, and they were talking about a school in the US that actually did a 3 weeks experiment of resuming school with all guidelines, and no one told you that they were very selective of the children they allowed to come in, children that did not have any underlying health issues. It was interesting to listen to the feedback of the teacher. He said it just wasn't the same. It was hard to engage the children with their faces half covered. And he said in the first week, the children had their mask on, but by the second week, the mask was a bit, further down their face, and they're getting closer to each other. So he's saying that in practical terms, it will be hard to teach, because teaching is not just talking. You need the interaction, you need the engagement, you need to be able to gauge, their feelings and how they're feeling about you. So it's tough, it's tough. We're all tired, honestly. We're tired of being cooked up at home. We're tired of not going back about our normal business. A lot of which is why when I go out in the streets, I see a lot of people not wearing masks. They're fatigued, or their masks are permanently on their chin. Even in the shops, as I go to the shops, it's not the same way when we first started. A lot of people go in, they don't bother to wash their hands. Some people still are not wearing masks. So there's a lot of fatigue. We are tired, we're all really tired. But one or two incidences remind me of the need to continue to conscious. This week, a friend shared his testimony of he lost his sister, and during that period, they received visitors, and during the period, everybody let their guards down, and during that period, his mom caught COVID, and his mom died of COVID. Yes, his mom died of COVID. And then a few days after, he then tested for COVID, and he explained his experience, and he's just back in recovery. And those things remind us, why we are doing this. Those things remind us not letting our guards down. So even though I'm tired, I really wish they could be back in school. I really wish my staff could be back so that, some of the back and forth we're doing is easier. But these kind of stories remind me of, what it's all about. It reminds me of the safety that I still need to ensure. It reminds me of putting on my mask when I go out and still washing my hands before and after I come back. It's still out there and it's still real. So in as much as we're all tired, I still encourage everyone to continue to take all the safety precautions. It's still out there. COVID is still out there.
Okay, so let's just hear from Eben. Eben.
Good morning, Mr. Rotimi.
Are you already affected? The way you're sounding. It's better to be affected than to be infected.
Go for it. Good morning, Mr. Rotimi. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Can you hear me? Yes. Can you hear me? I think so.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
so
we can hear you.
COVID-19 has actually done a lot to, especially to human at large. To let me even talk about just school alone, individual, different sector, and the school sector is which is the education sector, is one of the major sector that I've been observing for some time now, and I see a lot of changes. I'm even saying that when school resume, there are so many teachers that will not even resume. Before, I was even thinking that COVID-19 was not real, apart from the politics around it. But I won't lie to you, this COVID is real. It's until you hear about personal people around you, hearing from them how they experience it, that is when you believe that it is real. And there's something Ms. Titi actually mentioned about the student facing the laptop and was on YouTube playing music. There was another one I also saw online where the child actually wrote, you can change your name as usual on Zoom. You can come in with any name. And the child wrote there, reconnecting. That means the connection is trying to reconnect, and the child leave everything blank, and the child went elsewhere. So that means the teacher will just be like looking, oh, Toby is reconnecting. That means they will wait there for some time while Toby is now doing something else. This is a secondary school child, and this these children, they are now, because they are smart, they are smarter than so many teachers out there in terms of technology. Some of our teachers are not actually ready for this time until when we started some training, free training, go to YouTube, go and watch the tutorial. That is when some of them get to understand that technology is should be part of anything that they do in their life, and in even their business. But to me, it is also a time for us to learn, unlearn, and relearn, because there is no time in this life that has no purpose. It is actually a time for some of us to go and kick start anything that we know. I know that there's no money, which is what everybody is complaining of, but we can still look for a way to get something done, and look for a solution and do a lot with it. But I know that this will actually turn to history one day. It will be history one day. Even this education should be history one day also. Oh, we talk about this, we talk about that. I am very sure that we'll get out of it in peace, in joy, and I can't wait also to stand at the front of the classroom to teach. I am a teacher, and what I do now is to do a video at the back of me, and I illustrate my art and craft with children. So
So,
which is not.
it feels like you're sending a Christmas message or something. You know? So don't take us yet to that point before we realize that, oh my God, July is over. Some of us will add to the pressure. Okay, so Jude, I'm coming back to you, Eben. So Jude, Mr.
Yes,
Jude,
I can hear you.
prophet.
They needed the avatar.
This avatar, if I tell you what's on my mind, you will go off like it looks like someone in isolation center.
No. With that Jordan air.
Yeah.
All right, so Jude, why is it that should this be expected? Being a tech guru or a tech enthusiast, should this kind of apathy be expected, or is there something we're not doing to make things experiential? I believe Rhoda too agree with me that we've always been saying experiential learning, experiential teaching, and all those stuff, but now we are now going tech. It seems like all the edge we had out of tech has not successfully followed us to tech. Hello, Jude.
Jude's avatar is represented.
Hello.
Jude,
Hello, we can hear you. Okay, so while we're waiting for Jude, while we're waiting for you, I have a very, very urgent, important announcement. And that announcement is that someone of our tribe is celebrating his birthday today. It's Good Luck's birthday.
Oh, great!
So I think we need to sing a happy birthday song to at least to light up the mood, to say, and he's sending us digital cake. Can you imagine? How do we share digital cake?
Real cake. We want real cake. We don't want to know.
We want real cake. We want real cake. We want real cake. We want real cake. Okay, so clear your voice. Let's sing. Ready? 1, 2, go. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
What happened? You forgot the lines. When you send the cake, we'll finish the song. That was down payment. All right, so Jude, are you ready to share with us what you're saying?
Yes. The question again, please.
Your avatar is happy. Is happy.
I was actually breaking out when you were. My audio was bad.
You have gone out of the spirit. How can a prophet be asking this kind of question? We are asking that, is this meant to be expected? Looking at it, well, we've been talking about fatigue.
Okay.
Could this be expected?
Okay. It's meant to be expected. The depression is real. The fear is real. The fatigue is real. It's not uh it's not a it's not a fake, or it's not a hoax. It's all real, because people getting depressed based on drastic change in their lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's a big thing for humans. And remember that even for the tech savvy people, or for people who use tech, and maybe their work is all around tech, you find that working from home is not a norm for them. Working from home is not a norm for them. So automatically, it will affect their lifestyle. It will affect the way they deliver on their deadlines. And you should also know that our houses were not meant for work. We didn't When you were packing to your house, you didn't design it to work from home, right? Majority, I'll say majority, because the work from home, the ergonomics has to come into play. When you're working from home, you have to have your special corner, special chair, special table, special accessories around your workplace, right? Now, if that is not in place and you start working from your couch, it definitely will affect your back. It will affect your sitting posture, your standing posture, and even affects the way you move around your house. So, because our houses were not designed for work, so automatically that backlash on our health will be felt, and it will definitely get people who are going into depression, people who are agitated, people who are different kind of negative feelings will pop up because of the change in direction, change in work, change in schedule, change in lifestyle. So any drastic change in lifestyle will affect our human psychology. That is fact. And whatever we're experiencing now due to COVID it's real. It's real. You see people getting depressed, people getting cranky, people getting annoyed for not unnecessary anyway. People getting annoyed and agitated. That is real, and it's due to the drastic change in lifestyle. So no matter how tech savvy you are also going to be vulnerable to the drastic changes in lifestyle, because we are all humans. Thank you.
Safety chick, do you have something to say? Safety chick, are you there?
With me, while we're waiting for her, it just occurred to me that this conversation
Yes,
really
sir.
is. Oh yeah, good, she's back. We can
Okay,
hear
safety
Safety.
chick. Safety
Okay,
chick,
sir.
do you have something to say on what we've been talking
So
about so far?
I'll just continue from where Jude stopped. So the thing is, prior to the pandemic, the lockdown, there are people who have never had to spend time with themselves. They use work and other activities to fill up their days. So now having to spend that time with themselves, they're realizing certain things about themselves that they didn't know. They're also realizing certain things about their family members, maybe a spouse, a child that they didn't know. And this is also bringing additional pressure. And so if you've never gone through that phase, having a peaceful environment at home, it's also going to add to the mental stress that you felt during this period. So that was one of the things that really affected it. And that's one of the things, again, that made people want to go back to work. People long for social interaction. People wanted to, be and spend time with others, just to go out of that sort of isolation. So, yes, regardless of where you are on the ladder, everyone has been affected. Although the angle I always take it from, is I try to when people begin to look at all the negatives in this season, I always tell them that the individual who got into the pandemic is totally different from the individual today. If we really want to be honest with ourselves, you see that there's something different about you. Maybe you didn't know how to do online meetings before the pandemic, but suddenly you're now a pro. Maybe you even organize online events. Maybe you didn't even know how to shoot and edit your videos, but this pandemic forced you to do it. So a lot of people this period they have changed. And if you did not change positively, then there is something wrong. You need to go back, dig deep. Why didn't you change? Why didn't you learn something? What is going on? You know, so yes, and again, taking it to the next level, a lot of people are tired of all the safety measures. It's like, ah, I beg, I've not seen anybody that died of COVID yet. It's just story, and all that. But the truth is, regardless of how we feel about this, we have to keep reminding ourselves that people have died. People have died in other countries, people have died here also. And so, because of that, we should not get tired. Even though we feel like that, we must keep encouraging ourselves, must keep gingering ourselves to, um, be encouraged to do the right thing because we do not want to be statistics. You don't want to say, oh, when COVID came to Nigeria, your name is special about maybe 20,000 or how many thousand that died. No, you don't want that. So I know that yes, it's tiring and all that, but we just have to keep reminding ourselves, let's look for the good in this situation and keep encouraging ourselves that okay, we do not want to die at this time or get into a situation that will traumatize the whole family.
Okay, so I'm going to ask everyone this question, and then we'll get to probably give opportunity for people to ask us. Please, if you are listening to us, whatever medium or platform, please, we would like to encourage you to share your comments, questions, and probably your stories, your real life issues regarding today's topic. It's not we're not going techie. We're just laying it there. Everybody is being real. Let's hope that this conversation today will lift someone up, will inspire someone, will motivate someone. In our own way of saying it, will ginger someone. So yeah. Let's hope that happens. So please feel free. I think we could even allow people to call us in, just to be able to take one or two calls. I'm going to share the number on the screen. Once you call, please tell us your name and where you're calling from, and you could share your story, and I'm sure the world will be able to identify with you. So,
that's
question.
An upgrade.
So we mentioned something. You said?
That's an upgrade.
There's an outbreak.
It's an upgrade. Upgrade. We upgraded to calling online.
Oh, that's an upgrade. Yeah. So we missed the point. Upgrade. Yeah. Okay, so let's even read comments while we wait for people to say stuff. So Rhoda, you're still the one. You are the commentator for today. So please read our comment.
Oh, good luck is saying, Titi, as much as everyone is tired, people like you who are frontliners must not show any sign of tiredness because there's still a long way to go. Good luck. This is human.
We ought to be able to show and display our vulnerability.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with Onke there as well. In terms of, yes, professionally, because you understand the place of technology and, trying to get everybody to align themselves, it's, I guess that's why he's charging you for. Yeah. Joel Onlani, our tribe member, the mental stress these children are going through should be looked into. We talked about mental health a while ago. So yes, many schools do not face their timetable and children get bored in the process. So they prefer trying to other sites, unaware to their parents or tutors. I think I get what Joel is saying. So with you, Joel. It's about learning. It's about the process. We need to get ourselves and schools better at look or chunking exercises for the children because it's not the same with the traditional school. So if you have the same timetable, I'm afraid issue there.
But Rhoda, another thing is even the data. You know, one time my son said, "Mommy, I spend half of the time waiting for my teacher because one moment the teacher is in class, the next moment his data is bad and he's gone out, and I'm waiting for him to join, and then he talks a bit and he says, oh, he wonder where his teacher is. He must really live in this is my son talking, but live in one rural area where the network is really bad. I was just laughing at him. I didn't want to tell him at home we have almost 3 different service providers. That's why his own network seems more stable. But
I think that's where pre-recorded video come into play. Pre-recorded video, because people that rely
comment about structure, like how do you structure your actual online virtual learning versus the way you structure it in the traditional school setting. And that's what he's speaking about, how it affects students. So back, can experience is the same, relationship, all of the rest of what. So yeah. Comment.
Okay, so
I think
Size the parents, especially those who still need to go out to attend to their jobs. Yes, that is a valid point. He mentioned this earlier. A lot of parents are really affected by this, especially those that really have to go out. I mean, how do I manage? Who's going to stay with the children? How's going to monitor their work? How am I sure they're even safe? You know, they're safe in school when I'm out also. Now I am out, are they safe? Yeah. Next comment.
Making the virtual class fun is one of the things that you just discussed now, because some teachers actually depend on just Zoom alone. And sometimes when I hear that, I feel bad. I don't even expect in a time you should be using Zoom almost every week. It is not advisable. There are different ways you can actually bring in a lot of online resources to make your virtual class fun. There are videos there, there are animation. Mr. Jude, you can educate them now.
I have been, but I think schools are kowtowing to parents who are insisting on Zoom only, and they are comparing Zoom to learning management system. Are you getting it?
But do you know these same parents also? They are also telling, they are checking other schools and telling some schools that why is it that it's only Zoom and WhatsApp they use? Other schools do this, other schools do that. I have a school last week that they actually complained that they said that a parent got a worksheet, and because the parent got that worksheet, the parent dropped from their virtual class. That's, oh, I'm not doing again. I have a worksheet with my child. The child will just be working with the worksheet. The worksheet comes in form of application, this and that. I think making the virtual class fun is one of the training that people have to actually learn how to master.
The instructional design at this point is still low. Not many teachers know how to design online instructions. They are used to the normal classroom. So instructional design skills come into play at this point. And pre-recorded video, I rather do pre-recorded video than do a Zoom class. That's I rather do a pre-recorded video because I will do it better than even doing my Zoom class. So most teachers don't understand the instructional design. So parents that complain, and you see schools running around trying to satisfy all parents, it's not possible. You have to stand your ground and know what you are delivering and have a workflow. I always emphasize have a workflow, because parents will only understand work with your workflow, right? And if one teacher is doing something and another parents will always complain. If teachers are doing different things, parents will always complain that this teacher is doing this and this. So if a school has a workflow, you see parents not complain much about Zoom or Google Classroom or any other platform. So they will accept what the school is offering at that point. Rhoda, your mic.
All right, are you there, Rhoda?
Are we still going on with the comments? My mic is on.
Yes.
Right. Okay. All right. So Blessing says, I have experienced some personally. Oh, I'm sorry. Ronke Push. I guess we differ in perspective. Trying to
Rotary, go on to the previous comment that Rhoda was taking. Before she had not finished. The one of blessing. Oh, is
All
what you
right,
mean?
let me just take Ronke Posh's comment. It says, Ronke Posh said, I guess with different perspectives, I can remember announcing online that I was taking a break, especially from webinars, and many expressed empathy and even said they would take breaks too. I agree, Ronke. You know, yes, well, look, it's just important. Like I said in the beginning, the first thing I shared was, you know, breathe. You know, and for me, that was something that worked so powerfully. I took the moment to take that I could, right? So I'm not actually physically sitting in the classroom. So for me, I could, right? So I took a moment to breathe, and it actually helped me because I'm in charge of like a large number of people. And I knew that if I didn't have that moment to just breathe and say, you know what, it's okay if I make mistakes. And it's okay if I don't get it right at the first time. You know what, I'm going to learn to do it better. You know, so I totally agree with Ronke Posh. Even though, you know, I have to say I was ready for a time like this. I'm speaking about my personal, skills. I was ready for a time like this. Jude and I have been singing the song of Tech Classroom for years, you know, and, it was just getting yourself ready to know how to quickly adapt or pivot to where we are at today. But then it's still tough. It's like, it's not something that we can put on people easily and say, oh, that they're going to just do it. No. So in terms of apathy and fatigue, it's natural. It's going to happen. And it's happening to everybody, even the people with the strongest skills. Look, everybody has been affected, like I said earlier. Even if you don't know someone who has died of COVID, the truth is that the world has shut down regardless. So you, whether it's true or not, you are affected by it, by change of your life. I heard that the buses can't, there's some markets that won't even open every day. It's there. Buses cannot open. You know, there's a cost to you, whether you believe it or not, whether someone has died or not. The government is implementing structures for safety guidelines, so you've got to live by it. And therefore, fatigue and apathy is going to definitely happen to you one way or the other.
Or the other, yes.
I think that's, to Ronke's point, totally. You need to take some break sometimes. Next comment.
That break also applies to the children, you know, so it's also important that schools are aware. And that was what Mr. John, put was in terms of spacing out the timetable, and then even that ensuring that midterm or whatever it is happens to also give them a break from everything. All of us are time, and it's important that we also take time out. I agree. And in terms of making classes engaging, everybody is learning. It's really there's no one size fits all. I think recorded lessons, mixture of Zoom, incorporating educational games like Niger Kids also make the classes engaging and all that.
Yeah.
We just need to keep trying all sorts of, it's the same thing when you're in a physical class and you see that your children are, energy level is low. It's something you do, it's okay to do, everybody stand up, let's put up hands up, so that's really the way it goes.
Okay.
But let me
I will always say
it's about instructional design and the methodology that comes with it. And that's something that actually the school system that is helping you to deliver, that will help you to deliver on it, should help you design so that you understand how. So in terms of teacher education and training, this is what was required. So I would imagine that one of the messages from administration to schools is to say, you know what, we're going to take a 2-week break. We're going to ask you questions. We're going to collect data. In this time, we're going to try to make sure that our teachers are ready to deliver on the outcomes of all the data collection we've collected from you. What is likely going to work for you? And of course, I like the idea. So you now say Zoom versus pre-recorded lessons. Percentages of Zoom, percentage of pre-recorded lessons, chunk the lessons. If something is you're supposed to cover a concept for 2 periods, you extend it to 4 periods, because now it's not about for what we're looking at now is making people feel safe, making people feel connected, and it's really not about grades. I have been saying it's about it's grades before grades, it's compassion before curriculum, and that's exactly what we needed at this time. Because will we close the learning gaps? Yes, we will. the strategy to do that, we would have the time to, but we may not be able to close a child who has completely switched off learning. And it's not so easy because you don't know. Or a parent who's going through some depression right now because everything about their life has shut down, and then you come and bring a Zoom and an online learning that is going to overwhelm them even more. It's not so simple. So the structure, is actually something that we should be very mindful of. And that's the kind of training on instructional design and the use of e-learning that the likes of Nana is talking about. Look at us in the special needs inclusion world. Our parents are complaining and they're saying, I'm not a specialist. I don't know. Yes, you can do teletherapy for me. You can advise me, but that's teletherapy. I would say that COVID apathy has affected 4 parts. Our health, 2 ways, mental health and biological, as Jude said. Our economics, which is our pockets. It has affected our skill set, and then it has affected our relationships. So it is not so easy for people, so that whole the whole 4 phases of it is what leads to the fatigue and the apathy, because at some point, and it's happening that those 4 things are happening to one person at the same time because of COVID.
At the time,
So that's true. And that's why I like Ronkesh Potty's comment when she says, we can't all, I'm sorry, that was a comment she made before this. I don't remember. Something around we just cannot pretend
to be superhumans. We can't pretend to be superhumans.
Yes, we can't.
There's a comment. There's a comment. Ijoma Opa is saying, which is, I think, is something we also discussed. Children are witnessing lots of violence and abuse during this pandemic. And it was something that Eben too was talking about in one of the episodes, whereby, in terms of online safety, in terms of, more introduction to, pornographic sites and just various things that, students are doing. So I think it's something we can, talk and that is where Mr. Akilami's, specialty is. And I think one of the events that they are doing is this, children witnessing a lot of violence and abuse. And someone said that at the end of this period, there's going to be a lot of teenage pregnancy coming up.
Comment from Mr. Akilami. Look at this comment. Barrister Taiwo Akilami, he says, the state of the nation is the real pandemic we're dealing with. Economic pandemic. That is, let me tell you, I was stranded somewhere.
Your purse.
I was stranded somewhere. I witnessed the government of that country send money to everybody. I witnessed it. It was not like, it's not. So there's things that the economy was not ready for. Nigeria in particular was not ready for. And that, my friend, at this Good Morning Education Show is the real problem. But of course, it's not to say that money is the only thing. There's so many things. Like I always try to, pivot away from money, because even though it's critical, but
even the rich now still fall. Still have issues. The rich also have issues. Yes.
Children are getting beaten now. Parents are seeing their children struggle with learning, and the beating is on another level. So you don't know this load of so many visitors, beat here and there, screaming. It may not be beat, it may be shouting. All of this is, for the children of today, is very, very significant to their mindset and their confidence. And this is what teachers know how to do better than parents. And that's why they're teachers. That's why they're experts in the room. And now the parents are trying to be those experts. And it's not funny. It's not funny at all.
I like a comment from Obioma Obi. He said, data consumption no be here. As a teacher, I spend almost half of my paid salary on data, because you first of all source for the materials for teaching, then burn data for online lessons. That's still talking about the economic pandemic.
But why is the teacher now spending his money on data? That's a question I want to ask. Why?
Schools are providing, but they don't really have an idea of how much it will take to run a session for a whole month. So that has not been taken.
That's the place for data collection, which is why you should have taken a course, pilot, choose, structure the timetable. That's the instructional design and methodology for e-learning and remote learning, which I prefer to call it, because it should have both an asynchronous and synchronous version, where there are times when it goes offline completely for the children to work and all of that, pre-recorded videos, pre-recorded lessons, worksheets, learning packs, and all of that. All of these things count, So they should the structure, the design of your going into the remote learning was key. You wanted to start out by piloting it, or you want to start out by collecting the data, taking a break and saying, oh, this is what systems will work, create a structure around it, like literally Google Sheets that gives you a dashboard of what sort of things are going to happen that require data from the teachers. And then you now do that analysis. And that's where it's supposed to be. Do a bit of that analysis, not so much quick, not a big thing, just like, oh, okay, how much will it take for, how much data would you need for X, Y, Z, and teachers should always be supported in that area. And so I'm wondering why this teacher is spending so much on his data. It's very hard for that teacher to prove, how to spend that data. So it's so tough. And that's why
there's the issue of teachers having maybe 2 or 3 kids doing online learning, and they are also teachers. So there will be discrepancy in the use of discrepancy in the use of their data too. Because you don't know, should you be using your data for your schoolwork only, or should you be using it to support your kids? So teachers will also have to spend a lot on that.
Yeah,
true.
So how does teacher now say, this is the one I use for my children? Okay, there we go. No one knows this answer. So the apathy, the fatigue is real. So
okay, Rotimi, back to you.
Okay, maybe Rhoda should read from the.
Rotimi, you are muted.
Yes.
Fatigue from one fancy teacher. We need breaks. I agree. We do need breaks. I
think we need to be self-governing in this on this matter of breaks, because if a lot of people are working from home, nobody is going to is there with you to force you to take breaks. By yourself, you need to structure your work in such a way that you can take breaks. Sometimes people tell me that, oh, you are busy. And I tell them that sometimes I'm busy sleeping. Sometimes I'm busy resting. Yes, because I work hard. And so because I know I work hard, I also understand that I need myself to be in a top condition to function well. So when I need to sleep, I sleep. I rest, and then of course I would put in the work. I don't need to break down first before I know that I need to take breaks. So I think we need to become really self-governing. Let's avoid external pressure. Understand how we work. In fact, by now this period should have let us know how our productive cycles work. Are you the type of person that does great work between 9 a.m. and 12 noon, and then the rest of the day maybe you can't do so much deep work, but you can do all the superficial stuff? Or maybe your type is you do deep work at night, but in the early hours of the day you are doing know your productive cycle and work with it. Avoid external pressure and then rest. Because if you break down, the work would go on. In fact, I was still telling someone, my aunt had an accident on her way to work. And right there in the hospital, her bosses are asking her to get someone to take her position, since she will not be able to come. That tells you that at the end of the day,
she was replaced.
Imagine. So at the end of the day, you are responsible for yourself, so that you are able to give your best at the end of the day.
Yeah. Yes, so safety speaking, in your context, yes, I agree with you in your context, because you're sort of like you said, you can manage your time on your own and what you would do. There are people who, so maybe we should even talk about using what you've just shared as a guideline for institutions to weave in institutional breaks for staff. And that's something that, for someone who's self-employed or someone who, can pace their tasks or works in a place that is quite flexible, you can extend your hours. The people who have a work from home plan and schedule, as long as you deliver on your milestones and your project tasks, that's fine. But then if you're a teacher, a classroom teacher who has to deliver between 9 to 12, things like that. So how can we, partner with parents to have this institutional break? Because when you say to the parents, don't care what you're saying the other day, that some of our parents, like I said, grades before grades. some of our parents actually turning their work at 11, right? But and so that kind of
Because
thing
that's
that
when they have time.
yeah.
Yes. So that's about understanding the teams that you are working with. It's about understanding it, because now because she understands that some of them, that is when they have time. So they're able to give a grace period that, okay, whenever these people turn in their assignments, it's okay, because at least they have made an effort, you know. But my point is, this self-governing thing is not just on an individual level, even as an organization. I saw a post recently where some teachers were complaining that they are even working more now than when they were in actual schools, because it's almost like, because you're working from home, the lines have blurred. So even
Yes.
from the administrative angle of things, we should help to create that, you know, those breaks to help them function well. Because again, like, imagine a teacher having 3 children and then having other children in class and all that. We need to, you know, like you say, you've been saying something very recently, and I like that, which is grace above grades. And that should also apply to the teachers too. We should give them grace too. Because the
Yeah.
truth is, if anybody breaks down, the work would hold on for a while before it gets going again.
Right.
Yes, excellent teacher. I can see your comment. So that's where our bosses also come in, our educators, administrators. See, this thing, I keep saying it, that we must all work together, because this thing is affecting everyone. It can't be one-sided, because if you have self-governed by yourself and your school owner is not self-governed, or they are under one kind of external pressure, they will transfer that pressure to you. And
Yes.
that's
Yes.
why we should have all sorts of people listening to this, both the educators, the school owners, the government, and all that, because we need to work together. I can't emphasize working together enough, honestly. We need to.
Rotimi, we cannot hear you, sir.
Your microphone, Mr. Rotimi.
When the muted, get mute.
Maybe
Always
Rhoda should be reading the comments. You should be reading the
Yeah,
comments.
I think the point is clear, and if not, we're all burn out. The school, parents, children, all of us need breaks, and everybody. You know, sometimes if other people are not aware, I think you need to proactively tell them. So sometimes we need to be able to tell them at work that, honestly, I'm about to, you know, I'm about to faint. Since that's the rainy word now in Nigeria, and I just need one of the time off. Also, as business owners, as you know, school owners, as administrators, we need to be, you know, maybe like what Rhoda said, go and take some data, send out a survey to all your teachers and say, what has been the challenge? How are we feeling mentally, physically, and then have a plan. So maybe where you've been doing a lot of Zoom for that week, you explain that we will do a bit more pre-recorded lessons
Recorded.
as we try to adjust. So I think the point is very clear. We all need to take part in just ensuring that people don't burn out, ensuring that people take breaks. Especially now that the lines have all been very bored. Even we ourselves, you know, we also need to, you know, take breaks.
Breaks,
Like
yes.
like last week, I was telling Rotimi that, you know, this waking up every morning for this good morning show was beginning to get to me. I told him I needed a break. He was like, oh, I told him, oh boy, the body is just complaining. So I think I took a break on Friday. I just needed to just, you know, sleep longer in the morning. So we all need breaks, you know. We are not superhuman. I'm not superhuman.
We also need
And
to ask,
the truth is that I have been able to force myself to
yeah,
sleep as early as possible, because that is also necessary. Because you
yeah.
find that you always have something to do during the day, no matter how. And night is very tempting to work longer, if you understand. But I say, okay, let me sleep as early as possible so that I can also wake up early and feel myself at least till throughout the day I should be doing something, because sometimes it could be tempting to
Good.
work at night. Yes.
Can we also ask, maybe probably by the way of ending, can we also ask for the government's perspective here? Because we need to then ask finally, should we waste this crisis in terms of building institutional policy efforts to alleviate or serve as palliative for people during another emergency. Sorry. So that's the conversation we need to have. That is also helpful, the way this stuff looks. Look, I was reading an article yesterday, or was it a tweet, that says a particular bus service had to increase their cost, their transportation costs by 46% because they were complying. Because they were complying in Nigeria, by the way, because they're complying with the safety guidelines of how many people can be in a bus, which had reduced their capacity by 72% of how much the bus was filled. So these are
they will double the fare. They will double the fare to fill in the spaces.
What sort of palliative should go to transportation sector? What sort of palliative should go to aviation sector in returning back to the economy? What sort of palliative should go to the education sector? These kinds of questions actually are the things that help, people in handling the fatigue and the apathy that they feel. And that's why the real pandemic, according to Barrister Taiwo Akilami, and I agree with him, is that of the economic situation.
Okay, Rotimi, are you back as we try to close? Is your volume back? Rotimi, your volume is not back.
Technical hitches.
Technical
hitches.
Yeah, you're back.
Okay, so we have we have a caller. We have a special caller in our show, or on our show today, and I'm sure he has something to say. So we have Barrister Taiwo Akilami here. Yeah. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, so you're live on the Good Morning Show.
Oh, we can't hear.
Okay.
That people are benefiting. The discussion is very robust.
The volume is still a bit low. Rotimi, the volume is low.
I just want to greet you. I just want to wish you well. I just want to
Thank you, sir.
I celebrate you and I appreciate what you guys are doing. And if I will go into keeping any word, is the fact that COVID has finally divided Nigeria into two. Most of the people we are dealing with, of our citizens, we are not able to partake. Life has gone online. So some people remain permanently offline, not because they want to be made, not because they want to be late back, because the capacity is not there. So 46 million Nigerian children are not receiving any form of education now. That's the recent figure, 46 million. Now, before COVID was 13.4 million, but now it's 46 million Nigerians, children that do not have access to any form of education. And 80 million Nigerians do not have access to any form of education. When you have adequate education, that brings us to 80 million. So I think that dichotomy is frustrating. And so for me, we need to begin to lead an advocacy that wants to reach the unreached. That is very, very important. I think it's critical. Yes, I was just thinking about that. How do we reach the unreached? Because some people are reached. Some people are even unreached. They are cut off by virtue of the state of our nation. So I believe that to spare a thought about that, I think to think, how do we reach the unreached? Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. That was Barrister Taiwo Akilami calling from the trenches. I hope you were able to hear. Sorry about the volume. It's an interesting day, actually. So I had to switch setup with laptops because one of the laptops decided to feel the apathy and the fatigue of transmission. So Barrister summed it up and said that we need to figure out how we will reach the unreached. And brother, that's been your message for a while. So in parting words, I know that we really overshot our time. So let's just have one comment There's actually, Titi, can I ask a question before we end?
Shoot.
Titi.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, so we have a caller from UAE. Might have to take that call and then end with the call.
Okay.
All right. Hello.
Okay, go ahead.
Hello. Okay.
Hi. This is Ifyok.
So we have Ifyok calling from the UAE. Hello, Ifyok. Thank you for calling.
Hi.
Okay, go ahead, please.
Hello.
Yes, go ahead. I can hear you.
Okay. First, I just want to say you guys are amazing. You can hear my cat crying at the bottom. You guys just walk my world. Okay. Now, it's really challenging for me. It's really challenging, and every single day I have to work. Now, took on vacation, but I'm still working as a teacher. I have a 3-year-old, I have a 9-year-old, I have a 7-year-old, and I still have to work with all 3 of them, and I still have to cater for the family. It's hard here. You cannot get the meat. Okay, you can hear that. This happens sometimes when I'm in class.
Wow.
It stresses out, but thankfully, I can manage myself, somehow. I try. Like, I have to be strong, and sometimes I even reach out to my support group. So, about how, individuals can help. You can get to solve the problem. It's not something one person can do on your own. Do this. We just, as we're doing, hold our hands together and be strong. And we can do this. We can get through it. And eventually, someday, we can look back at when it was helpful. This is how I made it through.
Fantastic.
I just thought I should give, my comments.
Thank you so much. And I'm ringing the bell of blessings to you. Sending the blessings all over to the UAE. Thank you so much. It is beaming with smiles like she just got shortbread.
Honestly,
Regards to your kids.
That thing of taking a break, my sister and I do it, every now and then we drop each other's kids at each other's houses. So that means I then have a total break. So one weekend I drop my kids at her house, and then my husband and I have a total break during that weekend. And some other weekend she drops her kids at the house, and we have it, so that, I like what Ishok said, that holding hands, that having support, let's, doing it together is just what we really need to just make it through. Yeah. So that would be my part. Let's take breaks and let's see each other. Okay.
All right. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. We had a great time today. I believe that I think what we're going to do, I'm not going to say, but we're going to do something special tomorrow. I'm not going to say anything. So thank you to our viewers. Thank you for our calls. Barrister Taiwo, great stuff. Thank you, Ifyok, all the way from UAE. Thank you, Rhoda. Thank you, Titi. Thank you, Jude. Thank you, Safety. Thank you, Eben. Thank you, Ronka. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, God. Thank you, Rotimi Etaya. Thank you, Internet. Thank you, connectivity. This is us signing out. Have a great day. It's always a great morning at the Good Morning Show. See you tomorrow, and God bless.
Bye.